Yeah, so I just getting ready to head to work and just listen to the news and more of the coronavirus stuff and all the fear and panic. And then I was on Facebook and that sort of thing and read some messages from some small business owners that feel like they need to be allowed to go back to work, all that sort of thing. I know everybody's aware of what's happening. There's been so much talk and whatever going on. And anyway, it occurred to me that, or crossed my mind or whatever, that this goes to a much deeper level. Me personally, I'm pretty frustrated that we've got almost the world's population just paralyzed waiting for somebody else to tell them what to do, whether it be the governor of their state or the Republicans or the Democrats or some supposed authority, whether it be from the church, whether it be in the family unit. We, as humans, I guess, I just see it as we're bringing our children up to bow down to some sort of an authority that's something other than God. So in the house, you got to behave, you got to do what your parents say, which is good. We want to bring them up right, of course, but then we take that to the classroom and the teachers, oh, you got to behave and do this and bow to the authority and do what they say and learn what they say and forget everything that that you were born with, all the brains that you had. Put that stuff to the side and just do what we tell you to, or you're going to be in trouble. So we get years and years and years of that, and shamed on the other end if you think outside the box, except for the ones that get through, the Einsteins and the Bill Gates and the people that say, no, I'm not going to do what you tell me to, and go ahead and get out there on their own. That's people like Oprah Winfrey that don't bend to the rules, but they make their own rules. So I got a whole lot of things in my brain kind of unpacking here, but as an entrepreneur, we make the rules. So like in my own business, I don't know, I'm going to go back, right? So the teachers, so there's kids that they don't need somebody to tell them what to think, and they don't want somebody to tell them what to think, and they don't want to abide to the rules that they say that are in place in the way that we're doing things in the status quo. They want to do something different. They have a different vision. They have a different idea of how things could work, and they have they're born with enough brains to see that, hey, if I put these pieces together, I can make things work in a different way. And then some of them, if they can escape through the indoctrination of schooling that we force them through, at sometimes, not every case, of course, some families don't force the indoctrination and things are changing, but that's a different story altogether. But then when they get into business, they make the rules, and you got to be fluid. So I own a business, right? You got to be fluid in what you do, and you change the rules to take care of your customers. And you do what you have to do to make things work. That's just how it works. If somebody says, no, you can't do this, and as an entrepreneur, hey, that's all you face your whole life. It starts as a kid, no, you can't do that, it's a bad idea, that'll never work, and you hear the naysayers, and they say, no, 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 and all you hear is, no, 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 it's a bad idea, no, you won't be funded, it won't work, people won't buy it, and you got to reject all that. It's the same as the professional athlete, right? It's the same story. People told them no their whole life, and they said, yep, no, I'm going to do it anyway. I reject your rules. I reject your regulations. I'm going to do what I know is right. And that's it. I was born. I'm free. Welcome to this world. Here I am. This is what I'm doing. And that's a cool thing, right? I can get really excited about that. So then with this, as a veteran, so now I'm jumping around again, right? So I served in the military along with a lot of my veteran friends. We served because we want to protect those rights. We want to protect the rights of the individual to be who they are, the sovereign individual that lives under God, right? So this goes all the way back. So here I am jumping again, right? People rejected Jesus and they wanted Barabbas, right? They rejected him. So that was only 2,000 years ago. And we can debate things and whatever, right? But we know, we can see in society, it grows up, we follow the rules. We broke away from England, right? Too many rules and regulations, and they just paralyze the people and individual sovereignty of the people to make their own decisions. Jane in the Park. There's another one I've been reading about, right? So in Meridian. So Jane decides she's going to tear down the tape and let her kids play. Okay, probably not the smartest thing in the world. But you know what? Maybe it is. It's probably clean because it's been taped and nobody's touched it. And the virus is going to be dead on there. The only people playing on it are her and her kids. So I think, just as a parent, a father, if your kid's doing something like that you know is not really going to hurt them, you leave them alone, you ignore them, nothing's going to happen. The problem is, though, right, there's so many people that see, hey, Jane's in the park and she's safe, so we're going to do what Jane does, right? The whole herd mentality that they're talking about, the herd, we can protect the herd with the herd immunity. Well, you got the herd immunity, you also got the herd mentality. Jane does it, we're going to do it. So then people are all going off. They're afraid because if Jane does it, they don't have enough brains to not do what Jane does, right? No individual responsibility, no individual authority over themselves. But what? We sit at home, and now I'm reading, so I'm jumping around again, right? People are sitting around at home complaining that they can't get their checks from the government. Why are we waiting for a handout from the government? Well, because that's what we were trained to do, right? Only those that reject the authority that's placed over them. And you don't have to accept any authority placed over you except for what you accept. Everybody can break the rules, right? You're born and you don't do what they say, they hurt you, right? They spank you or they take something away, hurt you in some way. And they control you. They manipulate you to be what it is they want you to be. But you don't have to follow the rules. We got prison systems that are full of people that don't follow the rules. So then they say, wow, then they use the scare tactics, right? If you don't do this, we're going to do this to you or do that to you. Do this to you or do that to you. I don't know. I reject that. I don't want any part of it. I joined the military to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against threats, foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. I see giving up our individual rights as a really, really, really slippery slope. Really slippery. And we're kind of in the midst of it. These here I'm going to jump again. The germ factory and all the schools and places where kids get together. It's not news that those places are germ factories. There's some parents that don't want their kids to go there at all. COVID virus or no COVID virus. You want to get a kid sick and spread germs around, go to one of them places, a bouncy ball house, a jungle gym. Go there to the park. Kids are germ factories. The schools, you want to spread a disease around, just go to the schools. That's it, right? It's not news. It's not news. If you don't want your kids to be doing that, don't do that. You don't need the government to say, oh no, you need to stand 6 feet apart, or you shouldn't send your kids, or it's not allowed. Then we get to the personal property aspect of things, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I got a lot on my mind, right? So I own my commercial property at my shop. It's my property. So what? I've got a sign on there that says you're open or you're closed. It don't matter if my sign's closed. People come see me anyway because they want what I do. They come to see me because they need something. It doesn't matter. It's my house, right? It's my personal property. I don't need to give up my personal property or my right to be in my space. That sounds pretty against the Constitution, you know what I mean? I should be safe in my home, right? I'm not doing anything illegal. And what is illegal anyway? The rules and regulations? I'm not murdering anything or cheating on anybody. I'm providing a service to people that people are willing to pay me to do. So, I don't know. So the hairstylist that's doing that, it's the same thing. Hairstylist that's in their property, at their place, sign closed or not, customer comes in, it's on the customer, right? If they trust what you're doing and they believe in you and they want to pay you for your services, who's the government to tell them, no, you can't do that? Really? Oh no, you can't do that because it's for the betterment of everybody. Well, is it? Is it for the betterment of everybody, or is it about that person that's going into that establishment and paying an individual? They're paying an individual to give them something that they want. provide them a service that they need. That's freedom, folks. That's freedom. We don't need somebody, I don't know. I don't need somebody to tell me what it is I should be doing or shouldn't be doing. That doesn't mean I want to go out there and do silly things or put myself in a bad situation. That goes totally against what I'm saying. I'm a really, really cautious, conservative guy. In business, you got to be brave, right? So there's both sides. I'm both. I'm liberal. I'm conservative. I'm the whole package, right? Just like you. Just like everybody. We've got all sorts of sides to us, but we want to grasp onto one and hang on to it and don't budge our feet. But that's a completely different story, right? But in business, you got to be super courageous at times. And then other times, you got to be super conservative. You got to be dynamic. You got to be able to move, change the rules. Change the rules. Don't grab onto anything. And the rules are ours. It's just like making a plan, right? I see people will write out a schedule or something, and the schedule doesn't work, and then they get frustrated. Oh, I can't keep my schedule. Well, guess what? Here, ding, 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 ding. Write a different schedule. Write a schedule that'll work for you. That's what we do in business. Hey, this isn't working. I'm going to plan something that will work. Do that. You know, when you give the controls to somebody in this business, so here I go again, employees come in and they say, here, I want money. You tell me what to do as long as I don't have to think about it. I mean, not all jobs, right? Some jobs you're paid to think. I get it. And I'm not putting any job down for sure. Because I'm on, like, I mean, most people say I'm on the low end of things, but that doesn't mean I can't think, right? But anyway, different story, value of things, right? Essential versus non-essential, who pushes paper and who can produce product. But anyway, they come to me, right? As the business owner, not me, the individual, me, the business owner, right? In this case, my business, but in other, you know, I'm just saying, I'm not unique in any way. We're all the same, is what I'm saying, actually. We make the decisions. We tell the employee, here, Mr. Employee, you do A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and I'm going to pay you A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and give you this, right? Here's your expectations. Here's what I need you to do. You've gone to school, so I know you know how to follow rules, right? So the person giving the directions are the person that won't follow the rules, right? They're the ones making the rules. They didn't follow the rules, but they depend on people that know how to follow the rules. That's what we need. I need an employee here, you know, the changing times. I need an employee that can show up to work. We open at 9 a.m. You're to be here at 8:45 a.m. Do you know how many employees I've had that can't get to the shop by 8:45? It's crazy. That's step one. Show up, right? It's hard to get people to even show up, let alone have any passion for what they're doing, because they're not writing the rules, right? There's no individual freedom or sovereignty, and there's no meaning, ultimately. You go back to the base, right? How can you have meaning in your life if you're living it for something else? Something that's money that really doesn't even have meaning anyway. You're trying to take the justification of your life, the value of your life, to be tied up to $1 or something like that. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, so business owners, hey, we just go to work, right? Oh, there goes my phone. So we do things in a different way, and it's always been that way. So anyway, I guess after reading all this stuff and the frustrations and things that are going on in the world or whatever, I guess that's my little rant. I'm frustrated that we got all these millions and millions in the world's population just sitting around waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. We don't need somebody to tell us what to do. We can be who we are and do things in a better way. You got to have courage. We have to have courage to do the right thing for the right reason, because it's the right thing, right? We can take care of each other. We really can. But if we say that one person has more value than another, or one person's idea is better than another, oh, that's just fighting, right? If you don't like what Jane's doing, don't go see Jane. And you know what? Don't follow Jane. You don't have to follow Jane. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't do business with me. It's that simple, right? I provide a service. If you don't like it, don't go there. It happens all the time. I don't like Walmart, right? That's just my choice, right? I'm free, right? I'm still a free individual, aren't I? I don't care for Walmart. I don't shop there. I stay away from there as much as I can. Does that mean I never go there? No. Sometimes I do go there. That's just it, right? Go back and forth. There's a lot of things I don't support. I don't go there. I don't do that. You can do the same thing, and in your own lives, you do it anyway. There's people that like Ford cars. Well, guess what? They don't buy Fords. There's people that don't like Chevys, and they don't buy Chevys, and that's fine, right? That's what freedom is. That is what freedom is. If you're working at a place that you don't like, you're free to go somewhere else, and that's fine. We run into problems when we write up all these rules and regulations and put our hands out and say, hey, you're going to get this, and we're going to write the rules and tell you what to do. Nobody needs to tell you what to do. You know what you need to do. And then, the whole slippery slope, well, who's going to protect you from the corporations? Well, guess what? People like me are the corporations. We need our people. The people in our corporations are the most important thing to us. If people would demand, I don't know if it's demand or what, it is kind of demand. If you go in somewhere, your worth, your value, right? The amount of money, if we're talking about money, I don't know. That's a slippery slope, right? But it depends on the job. But the job's going to pay you the maximum value to the person that's worth the most. That's it. That's how it works. If you come into a business and you can provide that business a service that makes them a lot of money, you're going to get paid a higher percentage than anybody else in that business. That's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. And so the rest of it is just talk. Businesses that can afford to pay their best personnel the highest dollar, they do that. They do. That's why there's people out here that make big bucks, right? They're making the big bucks. The rest of them are riding the curtails or whatever. And there's other things, of course, that, I don't know. I've kind of got off topic there, and I don't know. None of that really is really relevant to what my thoughts were this morning. Anyway, I guess to summarize what I'm getting at, or, what was on my mind, is it's just frustrating to me to see all these people sitting back. They're complaining. They're saying, hey, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this, and I don't like that. And yet they're doing absolutely nothing except for whining to change things. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line for me. You write letters, you can scream and cry, but once people are, I don't know, just gonna, if you're controlled by the authority, you're controlled by the authority. And we're watching the world, we're watching our economies, we're watching things just crumble. We're watching it crumble. And just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why we would do that. I mean, I kind of do, because people are trained to wait for somebody to tell them what to do. And that's a sad thing to me. I feel like, I don't know, me individually, just me, speaking about me, I live under a higher power. That's it. There's commandments that I follow, of course. Doesn't mean I'm a hellion. Doesn't mean I want to murder anybody and that sort of thing. By any means, I'm super conservative, and a lot of religious people are, their values are pretty darn good, whether you, their social values, you know what I mean? They don't steal from each other, etc., etc. Moral standards are pretty high because there's they're living under a different standard. Anyway, that's a totally different thing. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter, but they do hold themselves to a pretty high standard in general, whether you agree with the standards that they're living by or not. Anyway, I guess that's enough said. I just needed to vent for a minute, and I did that. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good day. Bye-bye now.